Good evening, YouTube, and I'm the bearded Bristol, and I'm back with a little Friday Philosophy. And I'm going to try to do better this week. One thing that I've discovered watching a couple of my previous videos is I've not really let myself out of the box yet. There's glimpses of it here and there. I'm obviously very analytical. That's why I decided to call this Friday Philosophy. But I think I've been holding myself back. So we're gonna have a little hopefully a little more fun. At least I will with recording this video. But if you notice over my shoulder here, there is a vertical chessboard. That's right, a vertical chessboard. And by no means was this invention my idea. I saw it on a friend's feed, and I'm sure my friend's feed was not the first one to come up with this either. Nevertheless, I like to tinker. I like playing with tools, I like inventing, I like creating. I'm also a painter. Graphic artist is my trade. But a friend of mine had posted on Facebook a vertical chessboard that she had given her husband. I thought, doggone, that's cool. I like games. I'm a chess player, but not... I used to be a chess player. How's that? But I saw it and I thought, man, it's practical, it's artistic, you can play the game hanging on the wall. You don't have to have a dedicated table. I'm like, that's pretty doggone cool. And as I said, I'm a gamer. I have 4 separate chessboards. And I just popped one of them open and found the right size pieces and built an 18-inch by 24-inch vertical wall hanging chessboard. And I think it's very cool. Doesn't make me special, doesn't make me unique, it's just what it is. But I decided to shoot in front of this tonight for a very somewhat purposeful reason, and that is the games that we all play in life. And again, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I always believed there was some threshold of adulthood where you just had answers. And as I progress in my own age, I realize I know less now than I did when I was in my 20s. Now, I'm smarter now, but when you're in your 20s, maybe even late teens, you're smarter than your parents. At least you think you are. And part of that comes from the idea that you're educated, you're more educated. Okay, fine. We'll get over all of that. But as it relates specifically to board games, I think it's interesting how everybody views life differently, right? And some people are Monopoly players, some are chess players, some are checkers players. And I think those pervasive attitudes that we have inside our own heads, those influence how we progress through life in the board game of life, not the chintzy, Milton Bradley game, but the actual game of life. And it's a very interesting thing to ponder. Are you the trouble player that pops the bubble and waits to see what the dice tell you before you can progress? Are you the Monopoly player that's constantly seeking money? Are you the chess player who's always thinking 4 or 5 moves ahead? Or are you simply the checkers player that takes the next available move? I'm not sure where I'm going with this. This is part of me trying to let my personality out of the box, so bear with me. But for what it's worth, This evening I have a little Cornell and Deal Da Vinci, which I just absolutely love. I'm a huge fan of Dunhill's Nightcap, but I think, especially, excuse me, especially knowing Dunhill is going away, the Cornell and Deal Da Vinci is really pretty good stuff. That said, I grew up playing board games. I grew up playing video games, and I've always been kind of at the top tier. I conquered most of the video games I've played. I won most of the board games that I've played. I fancy myself as a pretty smart strategist. I am not a brilliant chess player, nor would I ever claim to be, but I'm pretty good at the game if you get right down to it. But what I think is interesting is no matter how good I am at games, I'm a problem solver, I'm a gamer, I think ahead of most folks in my surroundings, but I can't beat the game. And I cannot figure out why. If you've played chess, if you've played Monopoly, Risk, any number of other strategic games, you know you have to think 2, 3, 4 moves ahead of your opponent in order to get ahead. And on a board game, on a gaming standpoint, I can do that. For some reason, when it comes to the aspects of actual life, I struggle. And I don't know if you are the same way, but I find it interesting from my own perspective that I can't outthink the game of life, but I can outthink my opponent sitting across the table from me. Most of the time, not always. I am not perfect by any stretch. But as somebody who likes the game of Risk, as somebody who likes playing a good game of chess, why is it that some folks out there are better playing checkers? And if you aren't following me yet, I'll try to connect the dots here. Checkers, you have 3 basic moves. You move forward either, top left, top right. You're always moving diagonally. So that's move 1. Move 2 is jumping your opponent and claiming their piece. Move 3 is once you're crowned, then you can move diagonally, forwards, backwards, etc., etc. We all understand checkers. But that's one of the simplest games outside of tic-tac-toe that there is. And I think where my problems are coming in is that I want to play chess versus opponents who are far better at checkers. I think I'm overthinking the whole game. Life's complicated, but oftentimes there are 2 choices. It's left or right. It's yes or no. It's up or down. And I think I may be projecting too far into the future on so many decisions because there are people that I could whoop in chess that are kicking ass in the game of life, but they're doing it by playing checkers. I think I overthink things. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you aren't playing games at all. I don't know. But it's an interesting concept. There's days I feel like I'm in frickin' Candyland. But again, as you know, to illustrate the point, I built a vertical chessboard, which I adore. You can love it or hate it, it doesn't matter to me. It's just something cool for me. It's artistic, it's practical, it's a gamer thing. But maybe I should have built a vertical hanging checkers board instead. Maybe I should try to simplify the decisions that I think are so important that I'm thinking 4 or 5 moves. Maybe I should just be thinking ahead to taking the next square, jumping the next opponent, whatever. Get crowned at the end and get to make more moves, who knows? It is kind of interesting though, those kids games that we all played, whether it's chess or checkers, Trouble, Candyland, Monopoly, so on and so forth. There's all, in each of those games provides a lesson in preparing for life as an adult. And I think maybe I have taken the chess component in particular too serious. I don't know. Maybe what we should all do is touch up on our checkers skills, where decisions aren't nearly as complicated. Maybe it's just about the next move and not plotting down 4 or 5 moves. Maybe that comes later. I don't know. Again, I'm back into the philosophy mode, which is what I do this for, and I hope you enjoy it. But I'm trying to bring out a little more of who I am, beyond just the stoicism that you've seen if you've seen my previous videos. Nevertheless, big chess fan, and for what it's worth, I am sitting in a church pew right now. Yes, that's right. I am sitting in a church pew. My brother called me up one day about 2 years ago. Said, hey, I ran across a church pew at a garage sale and I bought it. I said, oh, well, that sounds great. And he says, yeah, I don't have any room for it. Do you? I said, well, no, I don't. He said, well, it'd go really good in your library. So I looked around. Oh, okay. I can move X and Y. And yeah, okay. So this is a 4-foot wide church pew, purchased at a garage sale that I'm sitting on, which maybe is its own unique lesson that I'm not even thinking about yet. But I will also say, I apologize to anybody who feels that I am being pretentious smoking a pipe in my library, because my library is not that big. I am not well-to-do. I have done the best that I can with the tools I've been given. I've made mistakes along the way. I have spent money very foolishly along the way. But that said, I do have a room that I call my library, and it is a place where I allow myself to smoke a pipe. Nevertheless, I don't know that I've accomplished what I set out to do, which was to just be more calm, more relaxed, more human. Fair enough? One-to-one, I am one of the most chill dudes you will ever talk to. But sometimes on camera I feel like I might read a little pretentious, a little standoffish. That's not my intention. Me playing more chess where I should probably just be playing checkers. That said, Happy Friday. Got a little scotch and water, have a little pop. Pipe, that is. Holy shit. I haven't had that much scotch. I just can't apparently articulate the way I'd like to tonight. Nevertheless, I think I've got some good stuff out there on YouTube. Feel free to watch some more. But Friday Philosophy, man. I look forward to talking to you all every week. This is my chance to get shit out there. Hopefully it helps some of you. And if nothing else, I hope the hell it helps me, because there's times I feel like I'm pretty doggone damaged. I hope you all take care. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. And we'll talk to you again soon.